Hello and welcome back to GT Retro World. Well, today I thought we'd have a little look at the Icom IC-R75 communications receiver, and I wasn't going to do this video to be honest, but I've had so much joy out of this little thing, it's unbelievable. Also, most of you know that the Icom IC-718 is due for re-release. Now that is an old radio, as old as this. This was released in 1999. Looking at the serial number of this is a 2002 model. It come in its box, it come with a manual, and it's in very good condition. It's got one little quirk which I'll go over later on anyway. But on a whole, it's an absolute fantastic little receiver. The biggest thing of all of this thing is the noise floor and SSP. It's unbelievable. It's actually quieter, can you believe it, than my Yaesu FT-DX10, which is, yeah, it's mind blowing at times. Just a shame it isn't a transceiver. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring this out. I probably wouldn't be interested in the new 718 personally myself because it hasn't got FM in it, and I like a bit of foxtrot mic. Apparently they're going to be upgrading or improving, should I say, the new 718. So if it's anything like this, it could be a bit of a game changer. Anyway, let's have a look around the specifications of this receiver. So the European version covers 30 kilohertz up to 60 megahertz. So obviously it's breaching VHF, which is nice. So you've got like 6 meters in there. And modes wise, we've got FM, AM, USB, LSB, CW and RTTY. So it covers more than the 718, believe it or not. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? But anyway, there you go. It's got 101 memory channels, 99 regular and 2 scan edges. The power supply requirements on this are 13.8 volts DC. I think the American version come with a power brick. These don't over in Europe. We just get a lead. We can just throw it straight into the front of a power supply. On standby, it'll consume 0.9 amps or draw. Current drain on max audio is 1.1 amps, so obviously it's just tickling the power supply, that isn't it really. Dimensions are 241 by 94 by 229 millimeters deep. It weighs approximately 3 kilograms, so it's a fairly light radio, I suppose, isn't it? Or should I say it's a bit heavy anyway for a receiver. Okay, up front we have a power switch. Let's switch it on. There we go. We have a headphone jack, which is a big quarter. Yeah. We have an AF control. Now this is where the problem lies with this radio. As you can see, volume, same volume. That's the only quirk it's got. Luckily for me, the volume's about right. It is a problem now. We're lying out one day. I can't see it being much at all, but at the moment I haven't bothered. I've just been using it as is. But yeah, one of these days I will crack on with that. But yeah, there's the AF. Here we have a squelch and RF gain. As you can see, the squelch moves up. So say for instance you want to squelch out S5, you can see that's S5 or S7 or whatever really. Yeah. On the rear as well, you've obviously got RF or squelch. I toggle between the two, to be honest, depending on how I'm feeling or what I'm doing or listening to. So that's that. Here we have the twin passband tuning controls. As you can see, we've got the inner and outer. Yeah. So hang on, I've got to go up there. Can you hear that? Yeah. I love the tone of that. I know the speaker's a bit small, but yeah, through a decent speaker, it sounds alright. I mean, I've got a pair of SP30s for the Yaesu DX10. I've got 2 of those, and I use one on this, to be honest. It sounds great. So that's the way I do it anyway. But to be honest, I know a lot of people complain about this little speaker, but it isn't that bad, to be honest. We've got a clock set here. Then we've got clock. Back to frequency. We have an antenna selector here. Antenna 2, back to antenna 1. This also doubles up as our menu. We have the decent sized VFO, lovely weighted thing as well. I don't mind that whatsoever. Underneath here we have the tensioner. We have a lock here. You can see there, lock is on. That's your lock switch. Or it actually doubles up as a speech switch as well, I think, if you've got the UT102, which this hasn't got. Here we have the up and down memory. This is your memory write button. Your clear switch button for clearing your memory, or whatever you've inputted basically on a memory channel. This is your VFO memory switch, as you can see there guys. That toggles between those two. This is a keypad for direct entry. So if we wanted to say 14.250 and enter, that would take us up to 20 meters. So that's pretty good. Old fashioned, isn't it, really? But it's neat, it's quick, you know. That's what I like about it. TS is for tuning steps. It'll do 0.1, 1, 5, 6.25, 9, 10, 12.5, 20, 25 and 100 kilohertz steps. So there's plenty to choose from there, isn't there? So you can get it really fine. Yeah, it's really good, that. I do like that. Next we have the filter switch, which is here. And if you hold that in, that'll give you a filter selection. Yeah, okay. And that's off. Mode switches here. We have SSB, so upper sideband, lower sideband, CW and RTTY, AM and FM. Okay, along the bottom of here we have the preamp. Got some activity there, I think. Yeah,
next we can go up. Victor Echo 3 Yankee Whiskey Radio 7 Alpha Alpha, over.
So we have here, we have the preamp, between preamp 1, as you see there, 2 and off. We have attenuation, on and off. Noise reduction there, if you hold that in, it'll give you levels, as you can see. Use your EFO there for changing those levels. I find 4 about right on this, but again, personal preference, depends what your ears are like, I suppose.
Okay, many thanks for the contact, hope to meet you again next time.
What a beautiful tone.
Echo 3 Yankee Whiskey Radio 7 Alpha Alpha, bye. Transceiver.
I mean, look at that noise floor. I mean, yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Again? QRZ X-ray, QRZ XM Radio 7 Alpha Alpha.
Off. On.
Kilo Brown 1 Alpha Sierra Mike, thank you very much for coming.
As you can hear, it does work. I mean, don't forget this, the radio is quite old tech, but it still works. We have an automatic notch filter here. And we'll do that.
Alpha Albert.
You hear that, guys? It's automatic notch. Again, I think these work quite well. It's obviously it's the optional UT106 DSP units fitted to this, which is quite handy. Again, some people don't rate that DSP unit, but it does do something. I don't think I'd like to pay for it, I suppose, because it's not that effective, but it's in there and I'm quite glad of that, so that's another bit of a bonus. We have a noise blanker.
QSL, now is right now. Okay, Rick, many thanks for the nice.
We've got the AGC. AGC on. Fast. And you can see off is loud.
Okay, I copy now.
So,
right.
yeah.
Many thanks for the contact. Here, 7-element Yagi monoband and KW output. From
kilowatt,
Radio Tango 6 America.
It's a big station.
Hope to meet you. Kilo Bravo 1 Alpha Sierra Mexico. I am Radio 7 Alpha Alpha.
So that's your scan function.
And KTC on the taxi, VO1RTF, Radio 7 Alpha Alpha, over.
Okay, around the rear we have the record remote jack, controls the run of a tape recorder and connects to the remote jack of a tape recorder. Used to have them on the old Marantzas and stuff and Pioneers years ago, didn't they? So that could be maybe useful, or it was back in the day anyway. Then we have a recorder jack, which you'll plug that straight into the lining of a tape recorder if that's what you want to do. We have an RS232C connector here. Here we have a remote control jack. That's for the Icom CIV system. External speaker, 8 ohms. Okay. This is your mute jack control, which mutes and attenuates the received signal when grounded. Again, we won't be using that. This is a ground here. This is antenna terminal 2. And that's basically for the 500 ohm long wire. So That's what we use that for. I haven't personally used that on there yet, to be honest. I just use a 50 ohms connected to this SO239. Notice here we have a tap out IF tap, and that's a 12 kilohertz lift converter V3. Oh, that's what I presume it is anyway, because there was a bit of literature in the box, and that'll have been fitted. Well, it was released in 2016, so it could have been fitted a couple of years after then or whatever. I'm not too sure, because I think they ceased trading or ceased making that board now. It was the last of the versions, I think, as far as I'm aware. I haven't tried that yet, but I will be in the near future, all being well, if I can be bothered. I should do, really. I mean, it might be interesting to run this like SDR function, but anyway, we'll come to that maybe another day. So that's around the rear anyway, and that's a little look at the side. And yeah, it's in good condition. It's in very good condition anyway, to be honest, apart from that AF issue. But yeah, I mean, it was just a little look, really. You know, I mean, and another point I was going to get to with this, I mean, I do a lot of receiving lately. Do you want to listen to the received audio? I know Clint at Oxford Shortwave Log, he does a lot of this, and I like listening, but I don't know whether it's something it would attach to my channel and whether you'd like it or not. Or do you want to hear me having QSOs? I mean, today I had a few QSOs, and I haven't really texted a lot for a while, to be honest. I was talking to a bloke in Denmark, to be honest. He was a portable station, OZ81E portable in Port Haven, and it was nice. I mean, to be honest, I only shouted randomly. I heard it on this first, to be honest. I should have recorded it, and I switched over to the DX10, and I actually turned the power down to 10 watts, and I thought, I want to give him a quick shout here because it was a strong signal, and I was straight in after about 3 shouts, so I was quite pleased with that. So half the time you don't need a lot of power or a big antenna system. I mean, this antenna I've got here, this wire, is literally, it's about 15 foot up. That is it, off the deck, you know. So half the time you don't need, everyone says you need this and that, you don't really. I mean, I'm putting a beam up shortly. When it's up, it'll be up around 35-40 foot, which is more than enough for what I'll ever need. But anyway, guys, it was just a little look at this fantastic receiver. It was only luck that I found it, to be honest. I wasn't looking for one, that's for sure, because I would never have bought one of these, because it's just too ugly for me. I don't like the look of it. But it's grown on me so much. Like I said, I've only had it since September, and it's a phenomenal radio, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I would have loved this years ago, but I would never have spent the money. But yeah, it's a great receiver, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is going to come back again as well, because they've got no receivers around about that price range, have they? And this is still quite sought after, as far as I'm aware. So I think they might bring this back, as they're doing with the 718, because it's almost the same chassis, isn't it, within reason. So I think they might just bring this back again with a few more little upgrades and tweaks or improvements, whatever they're calling it. Anyway, guys, that's about it, really. Hopefully it's been of some interest, and we'll catch you in the next one.